Did our solar system pass through a giant molecular cloud 10 million years ago? This is written by Professor Avi Loeb of Harvard University. The magnetic field carried by the solar wind blocks energetic cosmic rays from entering into the inner solar system from their origin in the Milky Way galaxy. The current magnetized heliosphere acts as a womb that protects the Earth from these galactic cosmic rays. This protection was witnessed by NASA's Voyager 1 and 2 spacecraft, which measured a sharp increase in a factor of 2 in the intensity of cosmic rays as they crossed during the years 2018 and 19 the heliopause, the transition boundary between the solar wind and the interstellar medium. In June 2024, he said, I co-authored a Nature astronomy paper with the brilliant Merav Ofer and Josh Peak. The paper suggested that Earth might have passed through a dense cloud of interstellar gas a few million years ago. A passage through a cloud that is a few thousand times denser than the diffuse interstellar medium locally would have dramatically compressed the heliosphere, the region filled by the solar wind, which is bounded by the pressure of the surrounding interstellar gas. Using a state-of-the-art computer simulation of the heliosphere, our paper showed that during such a passage, the heliosphere would shrink from its current extent of about 120 times the Earth-Sun separation to less than a quarter of the Earth-Sun separation. The shrinkage of the heliopause to a scale smaller than the Earth's orbit around the Sun implies that the Earth could have been temporarily exposed to an enhanced flux of cosmic rays. Is there any evidence for such an effect? In a new communication paper, the team led by Dominic Cole reported an anomalous 70% enhancement in the production rate of the isotope of beryllium-10 by cosmic rays between 9 and 11.5 million years ago. The increase is recorded in several Central and North Pacific deep ocean ferromanganese crusts. The new paper discusses possible origins of this temporal anomaly in the production rate of beryllium-10 in the context of geological, climatic, solar, and astrophysical events, and favors an association with the compression event of the heliosphere by a dense interstellar cloud. Nearby stellar explosions or supernova are plausible sources of cosmic rays that could have enhanced the beryllium-10 production rate on Earth. However, their event rate is not high enough to account for a sufficiently nearby supernova that would yield the needed enhancement in cosmic rays 10 million years ago. Collimated jets from gamma ray bursts would have produced a cosmic ray pulse that is too short to account for the extended period of enhancement in beryllium-10 production. The full width at half maximum of the beryllium-10 temporal peak is 1.4 million years. At the speed of the solar system through the local standard of rest of the Milky Way galaxy, 12 kilometers per second, the passage duration would imply a dense cloud with a diameter of order 50 light years. At the required density enhancement, the corresponding mass of the molecular gas would have been about a few 100,000 solar masses, and these are the characteristic size and mass of a giant molecular cloud. Such a cloud should have been located at a distance of about 400 light years for the solar system to cross it 10 million years ago. In the original paper that I published, Avi Loeb said, last year with Merv Ofer and Josh Peak, we considered the possibility of a more recent passage of the solar system, merely 2 to 3 million years ago, through a smaller and closer cloud located within the so-called local ribbon of cold clouds. But like any other learning experience, science is done by iterations. Perhaps the actual cloud through which the sun passed was bigger and farther away. Molecular clouds are a common occurrence in the Milky Way galaxy, representing a short-lived nurseries of young stars. Currently, the closest molecular cloud to the Sun is the Taurus molecular cloud, a distance of 430 light years, similar to the distance inferred above. However, a typical lifetime of molecular clouds is of order 10 million years, as they are transient, barely gravitational bound structures that are easily dispersed by differential motions and the explosive feedback from stellar winds and supernova. It's possible that the cloud through which the sun plowed 10 million years ago is not around anymore. In that case, the remaining testimony for the passage is imprinted through the enhanced beryllium-10 abundance in the deep sea floor. When I visited my childhood home on the day of my mother's funeral, I realized that it does not resemble the house I lived in as a child. The street was much noisier, and I remember the rooms were renovated beyond recognition by the new owner. It became apparent to me that the only way for me to go back to my childhood home is through photos and memories, because it was an entity that existed in both space and time, and not just a physical entity in space. In a similar fashion, the only way for us to reconstruct the 10 million years old galactic history of our home planet, the Earth, might be by studying the scars imprinted on its isotope abundances. After all, humans arrived on the scene just after this event, and recorded human history is only 8,600 years old. And this raises the interesting question, is it possible that the emergence of humanity was triggered by the passage of the solar system through a giant molecular cloud? And this was written by Avi Loeb. He's the head of the Galileo Project, founder director of Harvard University's Black Hole Initiative, director of the Institute of Theory and Computation at Harvard Smithsonian Center for Astrophysics, and the former chair of the Astronomy Department at Harvard University. He's also a former member of the President's Council of Advisors on Science and Technology and former chair of the Board on Physics and Astronomy of National Academics. And he's the best-selling author of Extraterrestrial, the First Sign of Intelligent Life Beyond Earth, co-author of the textbook Life in the Cosmos. And this is on the debrief. Please leave your comments, and thank you for your support. Please support my Patreon account. The daily posts are 5 videos daily, and they are totally different from what I have on my YouTube channel. Thank you so much for your support, and that you find all my content so interesting. You'll find the Patreon account details in the description box below.